All right, we're live. And we actually got a decent fire tonight. Hello everyone, how you doing? So typically what I like to do, especially when I start up here, for those of you who are new, I like to let, any of my people who have been here or anybody that's new, I like to kind of let these people, I like to let my new followers come in and, just really anybody. I like the number to build as we progress, and then we'll give it like a minute or so, and once we see the numbers starting to pop up, then we'll go ahead and get started with the show. But anyway, for those of you guys who are curious, we got a little bit to talk about tonight. We got some upcoming projects with this guy here, so you hear me talk a little bit about this tonight. So really, really good stuff coming up. I'm psyched about that. And then what else? That's pretty much it. Oh, by the way, any of you guys who are living up here in Northwest Indiana, you guys are seeing right away that lawns are they're jumping out of the ground right now. They're just beautiful green, like especially 2 weeks after those starter fertilizer applications we just did. In fact, I'm actually going to be doing a couple updates this weekend on my lawn as well as the LCN Lawn Revival and possibly the project lawn that I'm doing with Alan. I have to get out there and get a look at what things are looking like. But anyway, things are just blowing up green around here, especially with all the lightning storms we're getting, which are bringing all that natural nitrogen. It's just making things really jump out of the ground and look great. Anyway, let me go ahead and refresh the feed here, and then we'll get started. This will take a second. All right, with all that being said, let's get into it. Move that out of there. Product placements, everything. What's going on, guys? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome back to another episode of Lawn Fires, where the fires are hot, the lawns are green, and the questions are engaging. Welcome back to another week. So for those of you guys who are new to this show here, basically what it is it's a live stream I do every Friday night in front of a bonfire where I answer your most frequently asked lawn care questions live and in real time. So whatever you guys say in the chat goes. You have any questions? Bring them my way. All right, so I'm actually going to try and keep this show short tonight. So for those of you guys who are all for the 3-hour binges of me just going through the stream, I'm not going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to start sticking to my word. I'm going to stay on an hour, strictly an hour, so 6 to 7. So any questions you want to ask me from now to 7 o'clock, I'd be more than happy to answer them. You guys do know that I have a history of exceeding my limits with this show and going to sometimes 3 hours. Like I'll stay outside until it's dark, but due to time constraints and my moderators that come in here, they often get mad at me when I stay on late. So I just want to make sure that that I can stay on and that we can stay happy and all that. So let's just make sure that we don't just have a good night. All right. Why not do your intro right away? That's a good question. Well, I like to let my audience come in first, and then that way, I can make sure that I greet everybody properly. You know how I am about that. Anyway, let's get into the questions. Hey, Jake, what's going on? You haven't made a video this week. What are you talking about? Nick Strider, if you're talking about last week, I did put out a video, but this weekend, the reason I haven't put out a video yet is because I've been prepping for this project behind me. You see this American flag right here? I actually got a whole desk and ottoman set up over here because I'm actually going to be doing a project for my history class. I got to do a newscast on a certain year, and in this case we're doing 1945, so we get to talk a lot about, the war being over and, the atomic bombs, all that stuff. So that's going to be taking place down here tomorrow. I'm really excited about that, especially when I get projects where I get to flex my filming and editing skills. I can't be any more psyched. But that's part of why I haven't gotten a video out today. But don't go to sleep on me because I do plan on shooting a video tomorrow. As long as this project here, that's what's going to be happening here. But anyway, I'm actually going to be doing a video this weekend all about the first cut of the year. It's a common controversy that we run into. A lot of you guys want to know when it's appropriate to start. How high do you cut? How often should you cut going forward? We're going to talk all about that coming up this week. Stay tuned. Oh, yeah, another thing. So I'm actually going to be doing something different this year, and it's going to involve these guys right here, Soil Savvy. I'm sure those of you guys who've been around for a while, you guys have seen Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut, talk about this, as well as a couple others in the community. My good buddy, JC Jensen, JC the Lawn Care Guy, if you guys follow him. If you don't, Be sure to go follow him right now at his YouTube channel, JC the Lawn Care Guy. We need to get some pressure on my boy there. You see, he's really good at helping people on Instagram, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to get some fire under his behind to start making some more videos. I'm just trying to get some pressure on him because he's got such a good personality, a lot of good knowledge, and I don't like it when people like that don't do YouTube because they're afraid to talk to the camera. So if you can, do me a favor and give my boy a little pressure. I'm sure if JC was on here right now, he'd really appreciate that. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. So these guys here, I recently messaged them this week, Soil Savvy. I told them, hey, I'm actually going to be doing a new project this week. Would you be interested in sending me a couple of your test kits? One of them which I'm going to be giving away here. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, make sure you tune into the video sometime this week or next weekend where I'm going to be talking about these soil test kits here and how you can win one if you want. But anyway, what I'm going to be doing this year is I'm going to be using my back lawn as a test plot. And to give you a little brief laydown of what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing one section with Milorganite, another section with the Green Punch 1801 from the Greene County Next line, and then I'm also going to be doing another area, a third area, off of nothing this year but the 002 Next Microgreens. So that's going to be kind of interesting because one of the things I've been learning, especially since I've been following John for the past year now, is he's been teaching me, as well as a lot of you guys in the industry, that it's not about, giving your lawn all of the food it needs at once. In fact, what it's more about is working with what you have and building your soil to the best of its ability so that you don't have to feed the lawn that much. In fact, that's the rationale I'm going to look at this year, and I'm going to test it in a section of my backyard. And the idea being is that the more I apply the microgreen and the more I give it the micros, the more I build the soil, then the more natural nitrogen the soil has. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go throughout the year looking at that. By the way, in case you guys are wondering who used to bust my balls up all the time about my fire building etiquette, it's on point tonight, I gotta say. It's a little dim right now, so I'm going to go add a log to it. I promise this won't take that long this time, but let me just go put a log on here. You guys know one of the things I talk about on my channel, especially when it comes to having a healthy lawn, is that airflow is key. It's the same with having a strong fire, right? You want to make sure that you give it everything it needs from the ground up so that it can be the strongest it can be going into the night, right? The same thing with a lawn. If you don't build it from the ground up, if you don't make it strong and healthy, then your grass is just going to look terrible. That's it. All right. You'll probably see me do that a couple times tonight. It's just what I got to do, especially when I got wet wood. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. All right, let's get in. Enough of that. Let's get into the comments here. Keith Wilmoth asks, "Hey Jake, when can I throw down some weed and feed? I just threw down some pre-emergent last Saturday." Well, Keith, I want to go ahead and correct your thinking there. You see, I don't really recommend any weed and feeds. The reason being is I don't think it's environmentally friendly to throw weed control everywhere, especially when weeds aren't everywhere in your property. My best bet to you would be to spot spray your weeds with a liquid concentration, again, using the over-the-counter weed controls I talk about, like the 2,4-D, the dicamba, the conclorac, anything that contains those three active ingredients. You could pretty much find it at any big box store in the United States, really. Just go there, and my favorite product actually is by Bayer Advanced. It's called Lawn Weed and Crabgrass Killer, and I believe that's what it's called. In fact, if you want, I can leave a link here since I don't have a moderator, but I'll link it afterwards. But anyway, what it is it's a 3-in-1 weed control. It controls broadleaf and crabgrass, hence the reason we have conclorac and 2,4-D in there. The 2,4-D will help the broadleaf weeds, and the conclorac will help with the grassy weeds such as the crabgrass and the foxtail, which are very prominent out here. But anyway, as far as when to apply that, it goes the same with weed and feed. But then again, if you're gonna listen to me, I recommend you use the liquid weed control. Just go ahead and apply that. Once you notice the nighttime temperature starting to average around 45 degrees, and once you notice that, then you're good to go. You're going to get the full efficacy out of your product as intended. All right, let's get back into the questions here. Abanzi Prestige Boy. Hey Jake, I have a question about prodiamine. If I threw it down over barrier areas at a half rate, can I till over that and throw some seed down now? This is a good question because I don't really have a lot of experience with this Ebon's Prestige Boy, but I believe the objective is that if you do want to, if you want to go ahead and revise your thinking, your best bet would possibly be to break that barrier up as much as possible. In fact, actually, I've seen a video that my buddy Pete with GCI Turf did where he talked about doing spring seeding, especially after you're pre-emergent. And one of the things he mentioned is that if you do want to do some spring seeding, the best thing to do, like you mentioned in here, and I'm actually proud of you for doing your homework there, is to go ahead and break that barrier. The reason you want to do that is because you want to make sure that you get as much efficacy depleted as possible so that it doesn't diminish your seed. Makes sense? So the idea being is that if you do want to rethink, if you do want to revise your thinking and do a little bit of seeding in the barrier areas, just make sure that you break that barrier up as much as possible with a with a tiller. You should be fine, or whatever tool you're using. Probably not a tiller, but you get it. Jay Drobby, what's up, brother? How you doing? Jake, oh yeah, I just read this one. You need to do a roll call like the Grass Factory. You know what? We'll have to do that next time. After I study a little bit about what that means. By the way, what does that mean? I feel so stupid right now. What does roll call actually mean? I mean, I know that that's like Grass Factor's thing, but I don't know what it means. Ever used T-Zone before? No. What is that? Hold on. Let me look that up. RVA Lawn Love just asked me that. What is T-Zone? I believe that's a professional weed control. Let me look it up real quick. T-Zone. I'm on Do My Own right now. T-Zone. I can't find it right now. What is T-Zone? What I'm getting here is I'm getting fungicides and insecticides. I don't know if that's what it is, but clearly if I don't know what it is, I haven't used it. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. But anyway, let me go ahead and link my buddy here to the three-way weed control. Whoever asked about the weed and feed. Sorry if I forgot your name. I'm terrible with names, but I guess that's how it is when you're talking in real time and you're trying to get your point across. It's hard to remember everybody's name, but that's what every business owner should know. If a business owner should know anything, it should be their customers' names. So I bear the responsibility. I'm guilty. All right. So here we go. Three-way weed control I recommend. All right. So anybody that's looking to spray weeds in their lawn, I left a link at the bottom of the chat for the three-way weed control that I recommend. Once you notice weeds emerging and the soil temperatures hit 45 degrees at night, you should be good to go. Not soil temperatures, outside air temperatures. Man, hold on. I promise this won't take long. Remember, airflow is key. Airflow is key. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's put another. The idea with this is you just want to keep building. That's it. There we go. Yeah, I'm live. We're good. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of that tonight, just to make sure that the fire stays. Let's see. I always lose myself in the chat when I have to take a break. Oh, do I need a fall pre-emergent? I'm in Massachusetts. Jeff, this is a great question, and this is a question I get a lot of, especially if you're battling POA annua. It's a good idea to get a fall pre-emergent down if you're battling that. Now, when you do that, it's going to change the way that you're able to put down grass seed in the fall. It's basically going to, get rid of that option completely because you can't do them together. Now, I do recommend alternatives like tenacity um, that allow you to control problem grasses like crabgrass and POA pre-emergently while allowing you to seed. But the problem is that tenacity doesn't have that long of a residual. In fact, it lasts only about 6 to 8 weeks. That's about it. Whereas if you decide to put down either prodiamine or dithiopyr, you're going to get about a good 4 to 6 months of efficacy out of it, depending on how how much of it you put down at once. So it's very important to take that into consideration. So my best bet to you would be to just make a decision. Do you and the way you do that is you have to figure out like what is the severity of your problem. Is the POA problem worse than the thinness of your lawn, or is it the other way around? Like I say, it depends on the severity. If the severity of your situation is being that one problem is worse than the other, then you can move forward and make a bold decision. So I hope that helped my boy out here, Jeff. Abanzi Prestige. By the way, I have a fescue rye mix in a sandy soil in New York. Yeah, you should be fine. You should be fine. Get that over-the-counter weed control I left in the chat. What's up, homeboys? What's up, Salvador Ramirez? What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hope you got here well. Eliza John 5. Jake, what level should the blades be on a lawnmower in order to have perfect stripes in the lawn? My lawn is small and I have an electric lawnmower. This is a great question because as far as striping goes, it's not the height that matters. Because you've seen videos on YouTube where my friends like Connor Ward, Real Low Dad, they cut their lawns at about 5/8 of an inch, sometimes half an inch even, and they still get stripes. What it really comes down to is just pushing the grass over. And the way you have to do that is you need to invest in a striping kit, or you can make your own. I'm actually going to be talking about one this year that by the company Big League Lawns, and I'm actually going to be giving a few of those away this year under an affiliate code, so stay tuned for those coming up if we can get that going with them. But either way, we're going to be doing that this year. So like I said, it's really all about pushing the grass in one direction and then pushing it the opposite way on your next pass. And then when you do it, you want to make sure that the sun is to your back as you're looking at them, and that'll give you the most visibility when it comes to lawn striping. Stay tuned for more videos illustrating this concept as we progress throughout the year. Very cool. I just ordered a soil kit from LCN.com. Yes, dude, I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to diving deeper into the soil and seeing where things are at. Now, once again, for those of you guys who tuned in earlier and saw this isn't really a soil correction that I'm going to be doing in my backyard. It's more of an experiment, right? I just want to go ahead and get a before and after of what my lawn looks like after doing all of these tests to it, and just see how it positively and negatively impacts those zones in my soil. Jake, are you planning on getting a stand-on mower? Not anytime soon, Andy's Lawn Care and Outdoor Adventures. I want to work with my tractor for now because I really don't have that much space in my trailer for two riding mowers. But speaking of which, I want to talk to you guys about something. So you guys know that I've been talking about giving away, or not giving away, but selling one of my older lawn tractors just because of the fact that I don't need it, right? I have too much on my fleet, and I don't even have a trailer that's big enough to hold two mowers at once. And some of you have been suggesting that I, keep it as a backup. Some of you have suggested that I sell it, and based on the situation, I believe the best situation is to sell it because my trailer's not big enough for two lawnmowers, right? And with the prestige condition that this mower's in, I recently talked to my buddy who took it in for the winter. He gave it a whole ground up restore, new belts, new blades, new engine, all of that. And I'm thinking I could get a pretty penny for it if I sell it. And then I can use that money to reinvest in the business. I'm already planning on possibly buying a new weed whacker, like a Still. I don't know which one yet. and also reinvesting here in my YouTube business and possibly getting a better camera rig, one that's more versatile. So I wanna sell that for a pretty penny, and that's what I want to do. RVA Lawn Love. Just do it when you can. Do you know this people with having to work a lot? Oh, Daryl Smith, did I miss anything? Jake, I haven't seen you in a while. How do you know these people with having to work a lot? I'm not sure. That's a tough one. Oh, at what temperature outside will the fire stop? Oh, this is a great question because I'm actually inside tonight. It's not so much the temperatures, but it's just the fact that it's so windy outside, right? It's been so windy, and because of that, I haven't, because of that, I wasn't willing to mess around with it, right? And because I want to try and do these episodes in more of a timely manner and give you more info in less time, I didn't do it outside tonight because of the wind. In fact, that's actually why, for those of you guys who tuned in last week, it's the same reason. That's why I had it inside with Rich. We just decided last minute because it was too windy. We couldn't do it outside, but either way, I'm having a good time. So I hope I didn't misread your question. Whoever asked that. Thanks for the fire, Silverback. I did a soil savvy and it came back with low K and FE. The FE surprised me when I've been using Milo as the basis. Okay, Hipsops. Before I answer your question, I want to say Silverback did not build this fire tonight. I actually built it myself for a change. I decided to actually do my homework and look up on YouTube how to build a fire, and as a result, my fires are looking better. And that's pretty much what it's all about on this channel, right? Is I'm learning as I grow. Because that's something I used to get bashed a lot about when I build fires. People would be like, hey Jake, you really suck at building fires. And I really took that feedback into consideration. I started, doing my homework, learning how to build better ones. Now, albeit it's a little dim right now because the wood's wet, but sometimes it's what you got to deal with. In fact, I'm going to go put another log on it right now before it finishes. Take a second. All right. Big log in there now. Just get some. Another thing I'm doing, that a lot of you guys have told me, is that I should start putting my wood by the fire so that it can dry out. It's actually pretty smart. So I'm going to start doing that so I don't have to worry about any more wet wood. I don't think I'm going to toss these stumps on there, but at least it'll dry them out. Because, for those of you guys who don't know, these are like freaking stumps. When we went to the tree farm, or when my dad went to the tree farm, they bring back like these raw stumps and then we chop them in the driveway. So that's what all these giant stumps are over here. Alright. Now that's roaring. That's freaking roaring. Plus another reason I gotta keep these shows short is because if I don't, I go through more firewood and then that's more firewood I have to get in less time. Now, one of you guys had actually said that I should start a GoFundMe to buy me firewood. I thought that was pretty funny, but hey, if you guys are interested, I'd be more than happy to do that. All right, let's see where I get lost in this chat all the time, but I guess that's what happens when you're in the moment. All right, let's see. I want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out because I have a bad habit. Thomas Bates III. Yo, Lawn Kid, what's up? What's up with all this lime green grass in my yard? That's a great question. Basically what that is it's Poa trivialis. It's rough stalk bluegrass. And it's a perennial. It comes back year after year, and it's meant to mask the look of rye and bluegrass. And I actually have a little bit of it that appears in my yard every year. And as far as treatment goes, there's not really much you can do for it. There's no selective herbicide on the market that'll control it. Your only option really is glyphosate if you really want to go crazy, but I don't have the grass type that allows me to do that. I don't have the Provista. But if you did, that would be an option you could take and then possibly do some reseeding in the fall. But if you don't want to do anything to it, that's fine. If you just, let it do its thing, let it go through the spring. As we heat up here into the summer, it's going to die off and it's going to diminish anyway, and then the bluegrass or rye that you have is going to come in and take over, so I wouldn't worry about it. So if you're noticing those lime green spots in your lawn, don't worry about that. That's just perennial. That's just, what's the best? That's just rough stalk bluegrass, or Poa trivialis as we call it here in the community. If you're noticing it, there's not much you can do about it. Just let it go. The heat will take care of it. All right. RVA Lawn Love said something, I think. I'll have to. By the way, RVA, I saw you made stickers. If you want to send any to me, I'd be more than happy to put them on the side of my PC, man. I love supporting my people that way. So if you'd like to send me a sticker, send them my way, dude. No roll call, just waste time while you read off 50 people's names. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny. That sounds like something Matt Martin would do. You should hook up with a company and get some mower demos on the channel. That would be sweet. You know what? That would be sweet. I'll have to consider that. It's actually why I like doing these shows, because not only do I get to educate you, but you guys are so freaking smart and you get to educate me. John Perry, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you could make it. I know I texted you at last minute, but I just wanted to get you on here and show you that there's a lot of people on here that are asking me a lot about the industry, and I just figured that, getting your input would be awesome. So, dude, I'm really glad you could join tonight, man. If I was smart, I would have told you about this sooner. But yeah, this is a show I do every Friday night where I help my people out, answer their questions in real time. It's a lot of fun, man. I get to just chill by the fire and answer questions. That's pretty much what my side hustle looks like right now. Connor, what's up, brother? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a few weeks. What's going on with that, brother? I've been stealing all your furs from you. Literally, like, people are even messaging me now. If you want to beat Connor, here's your first. Like, in fact, here's how much people support me beating Connor to first. People will send me their private uploaded videos and say, hey, write your first before Connor. I love that. So if you guys want to learn how to beat Connor's first, the way you do it is you send your videos privately to everybody else but Connor, and then you can write first. So Connor, if you're watching this and I know right now you're probably, crying in your embarrassment, but there's a way around the system, buddy, and I found it. All right. Anyway, let's get back to business here. Josh Smith, hey Jake, if you can pick 5 elements other than NPK for the lawn that are vital, what would you pick? All the micronutrients. All of the micronutrients. You know why? Because they fill in that gap. They're what drive the macronutrients. They're what help the macronutrients perform better. They enhance the performance. And overall, they make it so that you don't have to apply as much macro as you used to. Andy's Lawn Care and Outdoor Adventures. I am attempting to mow my back lawn low with a rotary mower. Currently, I am 2 1/8 of an inch and hoping to get to 2. We'll see how it works. Andy's Lawn and Outdoor Adventure. What type of grass do you have? I'm actually very interested in this. This sounds pretty cool. Send me a message. Josh, do you recommend putting Epsom salt? Mr. Perry, if you're in here and you answered that, it means a lot, brother. I appreciate it. Ebenzi Prestige Boy. Thanks, Jake. You're the man. No problem, man. You have any other questions, feel free to ask. We got a lot of professionals in here that can help. Let's see what we got. You should start getting into trees and shrubs and also draw more customers. Josh Smith, that's a good idea, but at the moment I don't have the resources, so I'm going to stick with growing my lawn mowing route, and then from there I can start building onto it. Big League Lawn Striping Kit is the best. Can't wait to try it out. LZ USA, Jake, is it too late to apply a fertilizer with crabgrass and weed control in the Ohio Valley? Like I said, this goes back to soil temperatures. Once you notice that the soil temperatures are hitting 50 to 55 degrees in your area, then the window is opening and get down your pre-emergent. Thomas B, yo, I just read that. That's another thing about building these fires. 1 second. Let me adjust the wood, and then I promise this doesn't take long, John. You're in here. Whoa. We're going big. You go big or you go home. If you're going to take anything away from this live stream tonight, let that be your lesson. Oh yeah. Adjust that so I can get some airflow. Remember, airflow is key. Alright, that's on there. Just goes to show, when you do these live streams, you got to be all in. It's binary. It's either you're in or you're out. You can't, it's kind of like pregnancy. You can't be half pregnant. You got to be all in. Alright. Hey.
Oh, it's so warm in here.
I know, isn't it?
Oh, Peter used to sit right there. I miss my cat.
Yeah, I miss him too. For those of you guys who don't know, my cat ran away again. You know what's funny about him? You guys are gonna love this. This is a great story. So my cat, my cat, I named him Player, in case you don't know, Player. And we call him that for a particular reason, and because of that, and for that reason, you know, anytime the door's open, he'll get out and he'll go do his thing, and then he'll come back. So, right now I'm waiting on him to come back from his little runaway, and then after that, I got to get him freaking fixed, man, because he's at that point now where he pees all over everything in the house. So sadly, I might have to get rid of him. I don't want to, but based on the situation, it's what I got to do. Yeah. It's one of the things I don't like about male cats, man, is that as they get older, they just start freaking, if you don't fix them in time, they just start peeing all over everything. I know I'm getting personal with you guys, I'm sorry, but let's see. Let's get back on topic here, because I know a lot of you guys are asking some good questions. But like I said, I get lost in this chat really easily. What is the best way to get grass rhizomes and stolons to grow quicker and faster? Here's a good lesson I learned from Brad at Green County Fertilizer. What you do is you take the humic 12 and you mix it at 6 to 9 ounces per thousand, or however high you can go with it, and then you just go to those areas and you paint them black. That's what you do. You paint them black with the humic 12. The humic 12 is good because it's going to help unlock, what the humic 12 is going to do, it's going to help unlock all of those bound up nutrients in the soil. It's going to help enhance all those bound up nutrients, bring them into the soil, and as a result, it's going to push those rhizomes to grow into those bare areas. Now I know John, you know, since this is his company, he knows right away what I'm talking about when I say paint it black, paint it black. All right, anyway, Josh Smith, I just read that one. Anthony, I thought you would be roasting a pig for Easter Sunday. That's a good idea. In fact, I'm not doing anything for Easter. Best grass seed to get for the Northeast. Anyone? Oh, best grass seed to get for the Northeast. Listen, Scott's or Pennington is a great choice, especially if you're a beginner. But if you want to get way more advanced and look at what's actually in your seed, you want to make sure that what you're getting is clean. And what I mean by that is when you get seed that's clean, you're getting seed that doesn't have any weed seeds in it whatsoever. And basically the way to determine that is whatever seed you buy, whether in the store or from a professional distributor, which I'll be talking about in a second, um, it depends. There's going to be a label on the back. You're going to have like a white tag or a white sticker, and it's going to give you the percentage of what's in the seed, like corn, gluten, all sorts of stuff. And there's going to be a label on there that says weed percentage. If there's even a small percentage of weeds in there, we're talking like 0.0001. That can equate to a lot of weeds in your grow, because keep in mind, when we spread seed, we're spreading it evenly across the lawn. And when we do that, consequently, the problem we're going to have are some new weed seeds in our grow. So it's very important that whatever seed you get is clean. And which brings me to one of my favorite seed retailers, and that is going to be my best friends at Seed Superstore. Now, what they specialize in is making custom blends that are made for your situation, and they also make them clean. So the benefit there being is that you're getting seed that's made for your situation, so it's going to last, it's going to be better in the long term for you, and you're also getting the benefit of getting clean seed that doesn't bring any more weeds into your lawn that already have, especially if you're dealing with bad weeds anyway, right? No need to make it worse. So I hope that answers your question, Josh. Now, if you're on my program, we recommend that you aerate and overseed in the fall, as that's when you give the seed time to grow, mature over winter, and then finish, and then get to its final stage of maturity and establishment in the springtime, just before the summer heat kicks in. That's what I recommend. But if you do want to do some seeding in the spring, make sure that you haven't applied your pre-emergent. If you have, make sure you break up that barrier. And if you're looking to prevent crabgrass in conjunction to this seeding, use a product like Tenacity. Now keep in mind, if you're going to use it preventatively, you have to apply it so frequently because you only get 6 weeks efficacy out of it, and then it's gone. So I hope that answered your question, Josh Smith. What grass seed is best from North Carolina? I'm glad I just answered that. Christian Higgins. My buddy Pete at GCI Turf. If you're looking to grow tall fescue down there, which by the way, from what I'm hearing, is the great, is like the gold standard cool season grass type for the transition zone, then go to my buddy Pete's website at gciturfacademy.com and you can order his special blend of turf type tall fescue. I got my son to start watching Lawn Fires with me on Saturdays since I work Fridays. I'm on break now. That's funny. That's great. Appreciate the support. Is it just me, or is the grass and trees blooming a tad early this year? I don't know where you're located, Josh Smith, but all I can say is that this is pretty much the norm for me, right? Especially as the temperatures are gradually coming up. In fact, I did notice that I noticed that there is a little bit of misconception too, because we are pushing products a little earlier than normal this year. One of the biggest things that Alan and I even talked about as far as pre-emergent was getting it down as we're leading up to the optimum time, which is something that we talk a lot about. Getting it down 2 to 3 weeks before the temperatures remain in 50 to give you that extra, means of efficacy. In fact, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, you can check out the Project Lawn playlist on the channel. It's called JTLK LCN Project Lawn 2018-2019. A Project Lawn I'm doing with Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, at a buddy of mine's house, and we're basically taking it from the worst of the worst. It's a newly seeded lawn, bringing it from the worst of the worst to the envy of the neighborhood. Make sure you check out that playlist and follow along. Tom Peters, I have a beautiful white patch of 10 foot of white grass. Someone called it snow mold, but I haven't looked into it yet. I don't think that's what snow mold is. Now, if you're noticing a little bit of mycelium or some cobwebs building up around the area, like the blades just look kind of fuzzy white or a little fuzzy pink, then that might be snow mold. But either way, whatever it is, it might be from lack of airflow. So the idea is you want to get out there and gently rake those areas and stand them up. Remember, as I talk about, if you're going to have a healthy lawn, make sure you have airflow, because airflow is key. All right. John, cat problems. That's funny. Here we go. Milo with next products, would that be okay? Yes, Milo Next products are a combo, according to Mr. Perry, and as I preached for the past year here in the community. Great combo. Gotta bail if you have a cat. Gotta bail if you have a cat. But I still want to know if your advice for grass. Smoking legs, this is actually great. I don't have any experience with bent grass. I've never grown bent grass. But based on what I know about it, very prominent in the golf courses because it is mowed low. And because of my new show, if in case you haven't checked it out, it's called Neighborhood Lawn Scouting with Jake the Lawn Kid, where I go around the neighborhood and I look at some problems that are going in lawns, all the way from weeds to funguses to problem grasses, all sorts of things. So we're actually going to learn together this year a little bit more about bent grass, what it is, and how to eradicate it, especially if it's unwanted in your lawn care program. Does perennial rye spread like Bermuda? No, it doesn't. It's more of a bunchy type grass. Hey Jake, gotta jump. You're doing great, buddy. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I tell you, man, your information is always valuable. I'm learning something every day from you. I really appreciate the fact that you came in here and helped my people, man. It means a lot. Thanks so much, man. Have a great night. Let's see what else we've got here. Anyway, back to it. Hey Jake, I was joking about the fire. I watched you to learn about lawn care, so thanks for all the knowledge sharing. You're welcome, Hop Hops. I'm glad you take something away from what I teach. Hey Jake, you skipped my question at 6:18 mark. Which would you be more than happy to ask that again, Adam Kalunga? Would you be more than happy to ask that again? I already made it to the bottom. I put down grass seed when it was warm last weekend, and it got cold and it didn't grow. When it gets nicer out, will it grow? Grain, from what I've been seeing in the seeding here in the north, especially if you do it even in the coldest periods, I think it'll be fine. All right. At this point, you've done something, so you can't really redo it. It's best to just commit to it and nurture those areas. Wait, let me make sure I didn't. See, one of the things about being live, you try to get through things quickly, and then you try to go through things quickly, and then you end up, going through things that don't need to be gone through. But anyway, where was I? I put down grass seed when it was warm last week, and then I got cold. It didn't grow. When it gets nicer out, will it grow? Like I said, if you just nurture it, you should be fine. If it doesn't grow, work on the existing grow that's there, and I promise you'll be fine. Especially if you're using products like the RGS, the Humic 12, the Microgreen, and the Aerate to help build the quality soil, then you should be just fine. Let's see what we got here. Bent grass sucks. Use tenacity to get rid of it. Oh yeah, Brian Noel. Thank you so much for bringing that up, buddy. I was actually reading the tenacity label a couple weeks ago, and they said that if you want to control it chemically, tenacity is a form of control for it. So if you want to use chemicals to get rid of bent grass, then that's the best bet for you. Now, like I said, I've never tried it. Don't take my word for it. Make sure you read the label yourself first to make sure that what I'm not telling you is snake oil, which I promise you it's not. But I was reading the label last week, and I believe it did mention bent grass on there. So if you want to control it post-emergently, good to go. How do you go about working on a big yard? Our front lawn is 4,400 square feet. Our front side yard is 3,200 square feet, and our backyard is just 12,000 square feet. We have irrigation, 10 zones, 53 heads. Let me add that up real quick. So 4,400 plus 32. 32. Let me get technical here. So 12,000. All right. 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9. 20,000 square feet. Yeah, man, that's about a half acre there. As far as how to go about caring about it, you just got to have the resources. You got to have the equipment. You should be just fine. Again, just the same way we care for a smaller lawn. Now, I don't know the exact equipment that you would use for a half acre. Now, I do work with a lot of half acre out here, but I've never really done any fertilization on it. But your half acre can be different than my half acre depending on how it's shaped. But I believe the best way to take care of it would be to just, like you would the rest of the grass, just make sure that you're getting down the same amount of product per thousand as you would on a 5,000 square foot lawn. You should be fine. Um, let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Um, Brian Noel, do you work out? Yes, every weekend when I'm doing lawn care videos. Thanks for responding. No problem, smoking leggies. Or I hope that's how I pronounce it. RV not 111 from Jersey. What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. At what temps do you turn on your irrigation system or wait until May? Now, this is actually a big debate, and I can't give you all the answers as far as this because this is not a problem I deal with as far as irrigation goes because I don't have an irrigation system. Now, I do tell you to water your lawn earlier than usual in the spring, especially if you do have a lot of road salt accumulation. And the reason I say that is because you want to water it and dilute it so that it doesn't, cause any problems with the pH in the soil. So that's what I recommend you do for that. But as far as caring, as far as a sprinkler system, I don't know. I just don't know when the best time to turn it on is. Especially when the weather is as tricky as it is now, it's just hard to determine. But I guess your best bet would be to just watch the weather. Watch the weather, right? Once you notice it going up and not coming up back down, then you should be good to open it. Plus, we don't recommend using it on a regular basis until we get warmer and we stop getting rain anyway. So, RV not 111. If you're in doubt, don't open it. But if you notice the temperatures in your area starting to persist, especially in the 50s, 60s, 70s range, and the soil's not frozen, then by all means you can open it. But don't take my word for it because I am not a professional. Brad Rohrbacher. Hey Jake, triple 12 versus triple 19. When should one be used over the other? Does it matter? Now, if you want, you can use them in tandem in your program, but I really, if you ask me, I recommend one or the other because I'm only going to recommend that to you once or twice a year based on your situation, and that's going to be our starter fertilizer. And the key there is that we're getting our three main elements, our nitrogen, our phosphorus, our potassium. That's what the three numbers are in the bag, NPK, in case you didn't know. And the idea being is that we want to give the lawn a dose of those nutrients to kind of jumpstart it in the spring and get it growing, especially if we haven't fed it properly in like 3 to 4 years. And that actually happens to be a situation or scenario that I'm running through here on my project lawn that I'm doing right next door at LCN's former residence over there. And I gotta say, based on what it's looking like right now, I've seen drastic improvement after giving it that boost. So I'll be revealing an update in this week's video. Stay tuned. Local lawn boys, what is your best tips for lawn care businesses just starting? 5 lawns. This is a great question because this is where I started. This is where everybody started. So when you're getting started, the best way to start is get your word out there. Flyers, door hangers, cards. Again, something that I really don't take a lot of initiative on. My dad knows that right away, right?
You're all good.
Yeah. But anyway, the best way to do it is to get the word out there. Word to mouth, flyers and door hangers, business cards. Do what you got to do. Go to trade shows, right? Let people know who you are. So then that way you can get more education on how to grow your business. But either way, like I said, the key is just getting yourself out there. And as humans, it's not something we want to do in the beginning. It's really hard, but the more you do it, the better you get. Brian Noel. Jake, how often do you use Milo and Ringer? I used to use it every 4 months as my stable fertilizer, but now that I am converting to a full-on liquid lawn care program, I'm going to be replacing it with the Green Punch 1801. If you want to stay tuned, if you want to watch that, stay tuned for that. But anyway, as far as how often do I use Milorganite and Ringer, I use Milorganite. I would typically use Milorganite as my stable go-to fertilizer, and I would apply it at a half pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. Now, 6% nitrogen, you put that down 8 pounds per 1,000, 8 times 0.06, that's going to give you about that's going to give you about that half pound of nitrogen. So I'll put that down once a month to make sure that, I'm spoon feeding, if you will. And then as far as when to use Ringer, especially if you're on a traditional program, it's good to use Ringer if you're looking for a potassium supplement, because that's one thing that Milorganite lacks, right? Milorganite has the phosphorus, it has the nitrogen, but it does not have the potassium. So in times of stress, especially in the summertime where you're looking to lower your nitrogen inputs, Ringer is the way to go. It'll help you. Now, albeit it does have a higher nitrogen input because it has about 10% nitrogen, whereas the Milorganite has 6. So you're going to have to play around with the rates a little bit. Anything below quarter pound of nitrogen, you should be fine. But either way, you're getting that 6% of potassium, which is going to be beneficial in building cell structure in the plant. I hope that answered your question, Eric Von Whittle. You always ask good questions, buddy. I appreciate them. Hello, Tom Fisher. How you doing? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Any experience with Fusilade for quackgrass control? No. Your best bet, if you're dealing with it, is to just mow it out. Mow it out. Mow it frequently. Mow your lawn lower than normal. It's not going to eradicate the problem completely, but it's definitely going to slowly start to reduce the severity of the problem. Ned Gallic. Jake, I did my prodiamine and then the micros, liquid seaweed and humic. Is it okay to lay down some gypsum now? I live in Lowell with clay soil. I know it takes a few years for it to fully work. Gypsum, I don't know what your soil situation is. I don't know whether you're slightly acidic or slightly alkaline. You're going to have to do a soil test and then get back to me. And then from there, you have people like me or John that can recommend what to do for your lawn moving forward. So if you're in doubt about gypsum, don't apply it. Just stick to the program that I teach you, and I promise you'll have good results either way. But I'll have to get back to you on that. Nate Gallic, if you want to email me, feel free. I'll put my email here at the bottom of the chat. SullivanJacob68 at gmail.com. There you can email me pictures of your lawn, close up and far back, and then you and I can just talk back and forth and diagnose some problems. And so if any of you guys have any pictures of your lawn that you want to email me, check the link right there at the bottom of the chat that I just put right there. Oh, but my soil test, this is good, Nate Gallic. My soil test showed high magnesium. Will the gypsum help lower that at all? Like I said, Ned Gallic, I'm not sure on that, but I can get back to you. So it's best that you email me your soil test results, and then I can talk, I can help you there. We can talk through it. And then if I don't know the answer, fortunately, I happen to know professionals in the industry that are a little more advanced with soil science, like Mr. Perry or Matt Martin, the Grass Factor. So I can put you out to those people and they can help you diagnose your problem. So if you would like to, be sure to email me. I'm more than happy to help you, brother. Hold on, let me adjust the log on this fire. We're actually nearing the end of the show, but either way. Whoa, sparky. Perfect. I gotta say, I really like this lighting, right? It's perfect. That American flag, putting that there, that really kind of helped with the exposure too. Like, that's for a project, but I think if I decide to film in here future episodes, I'm just gonna leave it there. The lighting here is just freaking awesome. Anyway, let me get back into the chat here. How long to wait to seed after pre-emergent and weed and feed? Brian Noville, like I said, I recommend against weed and feed, but if you want to use weed and feed, by all means, go ahead and do it. Who am I to tell you not to? But just make sure you use it smartly, all right? Don't apply more than recommended because you will damage something. But anyway, pre-emergent and weed and feed, The weed and feed isn't really that big of a problem, right? It's meant to act on weeds right now after you water it in, but it's the pre-emergent that I'm concerned about because once you put down the pre-emergent, it establishes a barrier at the soil surface, and it's meant to last for about 4 to 6 months, I believe, depending on when you applied it. So if you do want to do any overseeding, this is going to sound a little counterintuitive, but if it's what you want to do, who am I to stop you? You have to break that pre-emergent barrier. You have to sacrifice that barrier. But then again, that's not something I recommend, especially if you have a bad crabgrass problem. So put seeding off till the fall, right? Save it till early to mid-September. I promise you, you will be just fine. All right, what else we got here? Hey Jake, I cut the hill so it doesn't seed out, knowing what it is. Terry Davis, did you text me earlier on here? If you did, I probably missed it. I'm sorry about that. Brian Noel, is bluegrass worth the money versus PR in New England? Does it spread and grow that much or overrated? Brian Noel, they're really great grass types together. They really complement each other, especially here in the north. The reason I say that is because the ryegrass is really good at being fast. Once you throw it down and once you seed it, it germinates within 7 to 10 days. And then from there, it starts to mature. So the maturing process is actually quicker. Whereas a bluegrass, it takes 3 to 4 weeks. That's actually a detriment for bluegrass. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to establish. And because of that, you have a longer period of time that you have to care for it and you have to maintain it and water it every day. And because of that, you also have to make sure that your timing is right. You have to start like literally the first day of fall or the first day of September because you're not going to see like drastic results until October. But bluegrass is really great because it has a rhizomatous growth pattern. It grows below and also a little bit above, not so much, but more again below. And the idea being is that it grows side to side, and it's going to help creep into areas that need to be filled in if you feed it correctly. So to answer your question, both of them together, really good grass types. But when in doubt, especially with timing constraints, rye is the way to go. But for a long-term establishment, especially if this is your first time seeding, I highly recommend the bluegrass because the bluegrass is what's going to last longer. All right, we got a couple more minutes and then I got to shut this down because I got to start practicing what I preach. Let's see what I got here. I spread prodiamine down. A few hours later, we had 15-minute rainstorm. Would that be enough to water it in? Thanks. Again, it depends on the severity of the storm. If you had like a really monsoon-type thunderstorm, then yeah, you should be good. But either way, based on what I'm learning about prodiamine, it doesn't necessarily have to be watered in right away. Now, that is something that we preach in the community to make sure they get full efficacy, but if you want to wait 10 days and then water it in, you can, especially if you have rain in the forecast that comes here and there. Now, because to be honest with you guys, I really personally don't water my pre-emergent in. I let Mother Nature take care of it, especially because I don't have an irrigation system. I'm not able to manage that on my own, so I just have to let Mother Nature take care of it, and that's something I'm all for if you can do it. All right, a couple more questions and then I'm getting off here. Jake, how long does it take to get good at mowing lawns? Not very long. In fact, everybody's a little different. There's some fast learners and some slow learners, right? The more you do it, the better you'll get. How to sharpen mower blades. Inspiration is my middle name. I will be doing a video on the first cut of the year on the channel coming this Sunday or sometime later this week, depending on how long it takes me to get this history project done. But either way, that is going to be on the channel this week, and I'm also going to be talking about sharpening blades, as it is very important. All right, anything else before we go? Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. You guys, any more questions? All right, well, either way, we are at 7 o'clock now, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I just want to say that tonight has been really great. I love talking to all of you guys. I love helping you guys. It was a really fun show tonight. I love talking business and lawn care with all of you guys. And if you'd like to do more of this, Make sure you tune in next week and the week after that and the week after that and so on and so forth, because I look forward to all your discussion and all your knowledge and all your questions as it helps me grow as a YouTuber and as a lawn care guy and a business owner. So I really appreciate all of that. With that, I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. If I don't see you guys next time, you're going to be dominated, bro. See you later.